They left her waiting outside, oblivious that in mere minutes, she would dismantle their entire operation. Thus unfolds a tale designed to provoke deep introspection. Feel free to share which corner of the globe you're reading from. Ilara approached the prestigious law firm's reception, her steps deliberate yet unhurried, a simple dossier tucked beneath her arm. She'd meticulously scheduled a formal consultation, yet upon her arrival, the receptionist didn't even bother to glance up. "You have an appointment? There must be a clerical error. Client meetings are inside, madam. We're not seeking janitorial staff," she mumbled dismissively, as muffled snickers echoed from nearby employees. Ilara remained silent, simply displaying the confirmation on her smartphone. The receptionist peered over her shoulder, responding curtly, "Let the old lady cool her heels out there." Outside, as she settled onto a worn wooden bench in the waiting area, various staff members passed by, exchanging glances and hushed whispers. One even remarked loudly, "What's that one doing here, dressed like a barrister? Did she get lost on the way to the charity kitchen?" Ilara clasped the folder tighter to her chest, her gaze fixed downwards. Internally, a storm of indignation raged, yet her expression remained eerily composed. No one truly grasped who she was or why she had come. They merely presumed she was an elderly woman out of place, and so, amidst snide remarks and jests, she was ignored as if invisible. A junior associate, radiating an air of self-importance, approached Ilara after nearly an hour. Without meeting her eyes, he declared, "Madam, I must ask you to leave. We don't accommodate unscheduled visitors." Ilara again displayed her appointment confirmation, but the young man didn't bother to read it. "It must be a system glitch. Only significant individuals enter these premises, not people like you." Before she could reply, a security guard was summoned by the receptionist. "Kindly escort her off the property. We wish to avoid any disturbances." When the guard approached, he appeared uncomfortable but adhered to the instruction. He gently took Ilara's arm to guide her, but she stood firm. "Are you truly going to eject me like this, without even verifying my identity?" The guard hesitated momentarily, but the collective pressure was overwhelming. One of the senior legal advisors, a sharp-featured woman with a commanding voice, pointed directly at Ilara and bellowed, "Get her out of here. She's upsetting the clientele. Remove her now." The group behind them erupted in laughter, oblivious that in mere moments, their amusement would transform into pleas. Ilara met each of their gazes before rising, not with anger, but with an unsettling tranquility. As she was escorted towards the exit, several employees filmed her with their phones, openly mocking her. "This is for the team chat," one quipped, chuckling. The profound injustice, the biting humiliation, the blatant disregard for appearances, all had escalated in a matter of minutes. Ilara tightened her grip on her folder. She instinctively knew this establishment was corrupt to its core, and she also knew she possessed the authority to rectify it. At that very instant, in the investment fund's main boardroom, the firm's chief legal officer awaited a woman named Ilara Thorne, a discreet investor who had recently acquired a controlling 51% stake in the firm during a recent corporate merger. No one in the office was privy to this information, as the official announcement was scheduled for that very morning, in person. And while they scoffed outside, the clock precisely struck 11:55 a.m. 5 minutes remained until everything would irrevocably shift, but no one yet suspected a thing. If you found this narrative compelling, remember to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. Ilara, her arm still held by the guard, halted just beyond the main entrance. "Are you certain you wish to depart, madam?" he inquired softly. She nodded with a faint smile, as if privy to a secret no one else held. At that precise moment, the receptionist's phone rang. Upon answering, her expression utterly transformed. She turned ashen, stammered something incoherent, then shrieked, "Wait, come back. Ilara Thorne. But it was too late." Everyone heard. Everyone spun around, their faces morphing from disdain to sheer terror in seconds. The managing partner burst from the boardroom, shoving aside anyone in his path. "Where is Ilara Thorne? No one let her leave." But she was already in the elevator, and as the doors glided shut, her unyielding gaze fixed upon those who had been laughing just moments ago made it chillingly clear that their ordeal had only just begun. The elevator descended slowly, but each second felt like an eternity to Ilara. Behind her, she could discern desperate shouts and conflicting directives. Several employees frantically rushed back and forth, attempting to intercept her, as if suddenly terrified of the repercussions for their cruel expulsion. And they were right to be. Downstairs, her personal chauffeur, who had brought her to the building, was already waiting, the door of the official vehicle open, the same car bearing the insignia of the newly merged firm, now wholly owned by Elara Thorne. Her heart still bruised from the profound humiliation, she knew the moment for decisive action had arrived. Not with rage, but with the quiet authority of one who needs no shouting to command reverence. Meanwhile, in the main office, utter pandemonium had erupted. The senior partner, Marcus Blackwood, was crimson with fury. How was it conceivable that no one had recognized her? Who was the imbecile who had denied her entry? No one responded. The receptionist trembled, clutching the confirmation slip she herself had dismissed hours earlier. The very individuals who had mocked her now stared at the floor as if it could conceal their shame. "And you?" Marcus roared, pointing at the lawyer who had called her a triviality. "You've lost your mind. She is the new senior partner." The woman was speechless. For the first time, he grasped that his contempt would carry a steep price. Elara did not immediately return. She allowed the silence and uncertainty to fester. For 2 full hours, the entire office was a hive of frantic speculation, palpable fear, and incessant calls to the board. Several employees attempted to delete the videos they had recorded. Others practiced apologies in front of the bathroom mirror, but there was no turning back. During that interim, Elara convened with the financial group's executives who had backed her, presented the conduct report she had meticulously compiled with private investigators, and formally requested a comprehensive ethics audit of the entire staff. At 3:05 p.m., she re-entered, this time through the grand main doors. The chauffeur led the way, followed by a cadre of legal professionals carrying weighty folders and unyielding expressions. Elara walked with a determined stride, without glancing about, as if she already knew everyone had been condemned by their own actions. In the boardroom, the atmosphere was so heavy, it could be cut with a knife. When she spoke, there was no pleasantry. "I am not here for your apologies. I am here to rectify what you deliberately overlooked, the inherent corruption with which you treat those you deem beneath you." In the ensuing minutes, one by one, the names began to flow from her lips. The receptionist, the lawyer who filmed the video, the supervisor who ordered my escort, and you, she stated, looking directly at the sharp-featured blonde woman, who believed you held the power to dictate who held value and who did not. Faces drained of color as Elara passed the documents to her legal team. "You will be relieved of your duties immediately, and to prevent any litigation, accept the compensation offered, but you will never again step foot in this firm." No one dared to utter a sound. The power, the true authority, now resided with the woman they had cast out as if she were insignificant. The tension transformed into an absolute, suffocating silence. Elara took a seat at the far end of the table and began reviewing the firm's internal documents. "Starting today, all interactions with every client, every visitor, and every collaborator will be rigorously scrutinized. I do not desire individuals with impressive degrees and expensive suits. I desire people with genuine humanity, with profound respect." A young intern, who had witnessed the entire ordeal without participating, tentatively raised his hand. "Madam Thorne, I apologize. I saw it from the very beginning, and even though I said nothing, it seemed deeply unfair, but I was afraid to speak up." Elara looked at him with a glimmer of understanding. "Silence is also complicity, but if you are willing to never be silent again, you will have a genuine opportunity here." In the days that followed, the news reverberated throughout the city. Local news outlets reported on the new partner's quiet retribution, and countless dignified individuals who had once been underestimated found inspiration in her story. Elara received hundreds of heartfelt letters of gratitude. Even former employees who had resigned due to systemic mistreatment offered their unwavering support. The firm, once notorious for its arrogance, began to undergo a profound transformation from within. And although the process was arduous, the change was undeniable, not enforced by power, but cultivated by the inherent dignity she had introduced. Elara never sought mere revenge. What she enacted was profound justice. She did not raise her voice, nor did she humiliate, or repay them in kind. She simply allowed the undeniable truth to speak for itself. Those who had labeled her as insignificant learned that respect is never measured by attire, age, or outward appearance, and that a true leader does not need to assert themselves through shouting, but through resolute actions. The firm's new guiding principle, prominently displayed at the entrance, articulated everything. Never underestimate those who arrive quietly, for perhaps they are the very ones destined to restore order. You never truly know who lies beneath the facade. Appearances can be deceiving, but respect and dignity must always be paramount.